Hello and welcome to Mr. Game Review Show. Don't forget to subscribe the channel, hit the like button and put a comment below the video. Thank you so much. Captain Commando for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System SNES is a side-scrolling beat 'em up developed by Capcom. Originally released in arcades in 1991 and ported to the SNES in 1995, Captain Commando brings fast-paced action, unique characters, and a futuristic setting that sets it apart from other beat 'em ups of the era. The game features a 4-character team, each with distinctive abilities and playstyles, providing variety and encouraging replayability. You can play as Captain Commando, the leader with balanced stats and powerful attacks. Mac the Knife, an alien mummy who uses knives and can stretch his limbs for long-range attacks. Ginzu the ninja, a nimble fighter with swift moves and a devastating katana. Baby Head, a baby genius piloting a robot suit with a mix of strength and agility. The gameplay is classic beat 'em up fare, with players navigating through stages filled with enemies and bosses. There's a satisfying rhythm to the combat with combos, throws, and special moves. You can also pick up weapons and even pilot mechs scattered throughout the levels, adding extra depth and fun to the brawling. For the SNES, the game does a good job of capturing the arcade's colorful and zany visuals, though it does lose some graphic fidelity. The sprites are well designed, and the futuristic cityscapes and enemy designs are distinct, if a bit repetitive. Sound-wise, it features upbeat, action-packed tunes that keep the adrenaline going, though some players might find the music repetitive over long play sessions. Captain Commando is challenging, as enemies can swarm and quickly drain your health, especially in later levels. The lack of a co-op mode in the SNES version is a drawback, since the arcade version shines in multiplayer. Despite this, the game's variety of characters and sheer fun factor keep it replayable. Captain Commando for SNES brings fun, variety, and a futuristic twist to the beat 'em up genre. While it loses some charm from its arcade origins, the SNES version still offers a solid experience with a unique cast of characters and engaging combat. The absence of co-op might disappoint some, but for solo players, it's a classic brawler worth revisiting. The story of Captain Commando is set in a futuristic world in the year 2026 in a city called Metro City. Captain Commando, along with his 3 companions, is tasked with defending the city and the world from a powerful crime syndicate led by a supervillain named Scumicide, or Genocide in some versions. Scumicide and his army of mutants and criminals are bent on world domination, using advanced technology and dark powers to cause chaos. Each of the heroes in Captain Commando's team has a personal reason to fight against Scumicide and protect the future. As they progress through various locations in Metro City, from bustling streets to secret labs and even an underwater base, the team faces increasingly dangerous enemies, leading to a climactic showdown with Scumicide himself. Though simple, the plot was typical for beat 'em ups of the era, serving as a backdrop to the action and giving players a sense of purpose in their fight against a large criminal empire. Captain Commando has several memorable boss fights, each adding to the game's challenge and variety. Bosses appear at the end of most levels, each with unique attack patterns and designs that push players to adapt and strategize. Here are a few notable bosses from the game: Dolg, a hulking giant with powerful melee attacks and a brutal reach. Dolg sets the stage for the intense boss fights in Captain Commando with his overwhelming size and strength. Stron Jr. and Druck, these twin bosses are cyborgs that fight in tandem. Their coordination and ability to overwhelm players from both sides make them a tricky duo to defeat. Yamato's a skilled samurai boss who wields a deadly katana and uses fast, unpredictable moves. Yamato requires players to be agile and precise with their attacks to avoid his swift strikes. Blood, this fiery boss has a flamethrower and other fire-based attacks, making him a serious threat if players get too close. His use of fire adds a unique challenge compared to other bosses. Monster, A grotesque creature with tentacle attacks, Monster is difficult to handle due to his ability to strike at a distance and his erratic behavior. Scumicide Genocide, the game's final boss and the mastermind behind the chaos. Scumicide is a tough opponent with powerful attacks, using both long-range and close-range abilities to keep players on their toes. He is by far the most challenging fight, requiring players to use all their skills to defeat him. These boss fights add to the game's replayability, requiring different approaches and strategic planning. The bosses are memorable not just for their designs, but also for the unique challenge each presents, making them stand out among classic beat 'em up bosses of the era. Unlike many beat 'em ups where characters feel somewhat similar, each of Captain Commando's heroes has distinct abilities and fighting styles. Whether you prefer the balanced playstyle of Captain Commando, the long-range attacks of Mac the Knife, or the sheer power of Babyhead's mech suit, there's something to match every playstyle. The SNES version captures a lot of what made the arcade version enjoyable, albeit with some limitations. If you're nostalgic for that arcade experience, the SNES port does a decent job bringing it home with the same fast-paced action and energetic vibe.